So we're going to start with these exercises kind of from this program is kind of called Foundation Training. This is a kind of 12-minute routine, and then we'll look at some takemusu work. So we did a little bit before. I think most of you have done it before. The first one starts with this stance. This is kind of just wider than shoulder width apart. And what you want to do is throw the weight back. So the first thing is throwing the weight back, kind of as if you're throwing the weight back as if you're kind of falling. So you basically want all the weight mostly in the heels. Okay, and what you do is go into a kind of light squat, and you start to move to shift the body back. What I want to do is keep the body long and press the pelvis back. Start to tilt the pelvis and start to pull the pelvis back. Okay. In terms of the knee work, what I want to do is keep the knees beyond the ankle. So I want them pushing back, not pressing forward and down and forward, but pressing back. So I want you to kind of shift the weight back and shift the knees back. Okay, the first position is with the arms stretching back. Really shift the weight back, lifting the chest up, and just folding back. What you want to do is really activate the lower back. So these exercises are all about restructuring the body. To mostly use the glutes, the lower back, the parts that can really take the strain. So you just sit into this position. I want you to take 2 really deep breaths. Just as you breathe out, just increase the stretch, shift the weight back more, find more extension. In this case, also the head, you want it to kind of extend up. The pointy bit of the skull, you want it to have the feeling like it's being extended, pulling up. Let's say 1 more deep breath in. And then from this position, you're going to raise the arms up as high as you can here, whilst keeping the shoulders down. So not hunching up with the shoulders, keeping the shoulders down and really stretching up. So increasing the stretch back as well. And trying to, at the same time, keep the knees pointing back. So if you can, beyond the heel, right back. You should feel like you're falling over. Just hold it, stretch up more. And again, the pointy bit of the neck, really try and extend it up. So the whole upper body is not in any kind of hunched position, it's really extended up. And you're loading all the weight into the back of the body. Yeah. Then keeping this extension with the breath out, I want you to reach down, tilting from the pelvis, keeping all the top of the body again extended, and just reach down until the fingertips come into the ground. And keep stretching back, so don't bend the knees to do this, forward. Keep the knees back with the heel. And stretch out from the hands. Right back. So you want to kind of separate the pelvis from the fingers, so keep pulling them apart. You might find the quads are starting to shake in this position. One deep breath out, and you're going to bring the hands to the shins, so just so this part of the leg, and just again increase the stretch up, focusing now really on the head and really lengthening through the spine, and at the same time pulling back with the body, really loading your lower body. You're going to raise, and at this point I want you to bring the hands to the body, so they're in this kind of position. What I want you to do now is a kind of roll into the position here and then raise out of it. What I want in this case is don't bend from the torso here, but just flex from the hips. So keep this here, the arms close to in contact with the body, and really load this way. So the load is all being done in the glutes and the lower back. So you're just going to do 20 of these. 5, 4, 3, keeping the weight back. 8, 10, 11, just flexing from the hip. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, coming back to this position with the hands, a little bit deeper than in the first time. I want to externally rotate from the thumbs right the way out. Really lengthening through the upper body, keeping the knees back. Good, and the last time, raising up, high, keeping the shoulders back. Really feel it in the back now. Pulling up. Nice deep breath in. And release it and just come back up, standing. And just shake it out, lower body. Okay, and then we move on to the next exercise. This is called a woodpecker position. So in this case, we start like this with the feet on a parallel line. A little bit back, see the feet. They're both on a parallel line. And again, what you want to do is not bend the knee forward, but to shift the weight back so the knee doesn't pass beyond the ankle. In this case, shift the weight back. I'll just show you this one. You're going to stretch up high as you can. Lock the fingers together and stretch up. And then you tilt over to the side this way. So the left leg is forward, tilt over to the left side. And then we go to this position. Okay, so just nice and easy. Nice and relaxed, weight shifted back, stretching up. Nice and high with the body. All the weight in the heel and in the ball of the back foot. And then lace the fingers together, stretch up even more. Good, and then start to really stretch over to the left side. Keeping all the time the length in the rib cage. You should really feel the stretch in the rib cage. Nice deep breaths in. Try and really breathe into the rib cage, especially into the back. So really see if you can kind of access the back of the rib cage through the stretch, through the in-breath. Release it. Okay, come back to the center. Bring the arms down. Okay, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to stretch the arms back and bring the body forward. And I want you to avoid, again, bringing the knee forward. So you're basically going to tilt from the pelvis here. You're going to do this motion now. Bringing the arms back, keeping the stretch long in the back. You really feel this in the hamstrings and the quads. Keeping the knee back. Good. Reaching up to this position, stretching up high, increasing the stretch back and stretching forward. Good. Okay, lower the hands about 6 inches down. And then what you're going to do is rotate to the left side. You're going to bring it on and release it. Bring it on and release it. And all the time keeping the weight back. So stretching out. That hand's a little bit high, not kind of horizontal. You're going to stretch out this way and back. And again, we just do 10 of these. This side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And just release it, and we go to the other side. So the right foot forward. Just let yourself settle into the posture. Feet on track. Weight shifted back, knee back, beyond the heel. Okay, first start by stretching up. Good. Bringing the fingers together, stretching up even more. Weight in the back, heel. Okay, and then starting to bend over to the side, keeping the rib cage open and long. So try and avoid, in this case, collapsing the right side to bring the left side over. Keep the right side long as well, so kind of rolling right over the top. Use the breath to really expand the rib cage. That's it, and then back to the center. Good. Arms down. Good. Rolling the, flexing the hip here, and stretching the arms to the back. Again, extension through the head, lengthening through the spine, and keeping the weight shifted back in the knee. Good. Stretching the arms up as high as you can, increasing the stretch back and up. Good. Lowering the arms about 6 inches down, and then to the side. There's 1, again 10, 2, 3, 4. The whole movement comes from the pelvis. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then back, release. Okay, and again, just shake it out, especially the legs now. Yeah, and then we just do one more exercise. This is similar to the first one. We just do it a little bit wider. So in this case, the feet are a bit more wider than the original exercise. We're going to do slightly internally rotate the feet. You're in this position, you're just going to slightly rotate the toes inside. And this is really to activate the hip here and the back of the quad this way. Okay, so you're going to go first into the original position, which is bringing the legs back, hips back, knees back, and stretching the arms out. So this is the same as the original stretch, just a lot deeper. Arms back, head extended up. Back a bit more. Okay, you're going to bring the arms up again, and again, just stretch up back. Really now splitting the hands from the hips. The knees, the weight back. Really activating the lower back. Okay, now you're going to reach to the ground. More, in this case, deeper than before. So really forward of the feet. And really now push the hips back and stretch out from the hands. You feel like you're in a kind of tug of war between the hands and the hips, pulling away from each other. Okay, now from this position, you're going to keep the right hand on the ground, and you're going to, with the left hand, reach up and rotate. Okay, try and avoid, in this case, reaching up by tilting forward. Keeping the weight tilting back, pressing back, and rotate out. And again, you're going to rotate from the hips and the pelvis this way. Yeah, so one hand down. You can do this two ways. With the arm, you can keep it extended and roll up, or you can bring the hand close to the body, rotate, and then stretch up. Yeah, so you can do this two ways. The second one's easier, and the first one's a bit harder. Rotate up again. We do 10, 2, 3. Keeping the hips back as you do it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Left hand down. You're going to do the same on the right side. Right hand up. Really allow the torso to twist. Reach up with the hand. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release. Okay, with the hands, start to bring them out, and again back to the shins. This part, stretching back. Good. Lower back's really shaking. Good. Bring the hands back up to the chest. So in contact with the body this way. And you're going to do 10. So you're going to go 1, like this. 2, keeping the weight shifted back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, with the hands, you're going to do this. Reach out, fingers pressing together, and pull the hands out this way. Now the back's really in tension. This way. Stretch up and away from the hands. Right up. Nice deep breath. Oh, and then nice and slowly release it. Okay. Good. Okay. So we're just going to loosen the body off after that. So just up and down. And really just focusing, you'll feel the lower body especially. You'll really feel it kind of clean. Just bounce it through it. Just go to a kind of sideways movement. Just want to release this with tension. So it's not about really creating tension in the body. It's about basically loading the body in positions where you're forced into loading the body into the strong muscles of the body, which is kind of which is the core basically, which is what we use in Aikido. This is the kind of part of the body we want to access. We just roll through it. Good. And then just waving the body. Nice and easily. Okay, good. Okay, we'll do a few exercises just for the wrist. So just starting with a nikyo this way. So the thumb's pointing towards you. Just put it on. Just 4 times. Really strongly place it on. And as you release it, you're going to keep the connection. So release it and find your way into the next side. Maintaining as much as the connection as you can. Do it. 4. Now you're going to transition into a kotegaishi. So you're going to release it, wrap around the hand, place it on here. That's it. Just 4. And then again, maintaining the contact, release, roll around, and take the kotegaishi. Okay, release it. You're going to go this way down, and then under the top of the little finger. You're going to bring the little finger towards you. As if you're going to touch the nose with the little finger. And really placing it on fully. Release. And go to the other side. Okay, release. You're going to go into this position. So taking the fingers, rolling up this way. So all the way through the arm. Stretching the fingers back. This is a stretch really for Sankhya. This way, and then transition to the other side. Rolling up. Through. Okay, we'll do one for Shihonage. So this is a tricky one. You basically wrap underneath the arm, and then you roll the arm across this way, and you take the hand, and then basically what you want to do with the whole joint is roll it over. And at the same time, what I'm going to do is bring my ear to the hand. Okay, to this kind of position. So this is a stretch for the whole body. It's a really important stretch for Shihonage. In this case, what I want to do is bring the body towards the arm. So the arm's being controlled, the joint's being controlled. What I need to do is roll the body into the joint this way. Just a few, and then release it. So you wrap underneath the arm, collect the hand, and then just start to bring it away from you at the same time, stretching the body towards it. If you bring the ear towards the hand. Okay, last one, just make a fist with the hand. Give a little bit of resistance in the wrist and just roll through it. So don't make it too easy. Don't make the wrist kind of too floppy. Make it quite strong and really roll through with a little bit of resistance through it. Just do both sides, just a few rotations. Good. So make a strong fist. Roll around. Both sides. Good. Okay, for the fingers, you go from fist to pointing. So you do this kind of motion. You do it kind of rapidly. Dunk, dunk, dunk. You do about 40, 50. So we go like this. Boom, 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 boom. Like you're really trying to splay the fingers. Really pressing them out. That's it. Nice and fast. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. That's it. Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah, it's about 40. Okay, and then what you do is splayed fingers to fist. So you bring them in this way. Now, and you do the same speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You bring them to the body. Splayed fingers. Try not to slow down as you do it. Try and keep the same speed. Yeah, release it. Good. Okay, and just shake the hands out. Okay, last one's just for the arms. Lace the fingers together, and you basically want to press the palms together. So it's a bit like there's a space between it, but there's all the palms together, and then just roll the joint this way. So starting again to where the forearms, the wrists. Just roll it this way. In this case, see if you can kind of keep the arms, the shoulders down, and just kind of mobilize the wrist and the kind of the front of the forearm here. Trying as much as you can to keep the contact with the hands. So you can do both ways. Good. And then releasing the contact, you're going to kind of wave through it. So this is really waving through. And see if you can avoid doing what I just did there. See if you can avoid that kind of position. What you want to do is really roll through it in a kind of, oh, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. So don't allow the wrist to basically collapse. So roll, see if you can kind of wave through it. That way. Kind of roll through the joint without kinking it. This way, which means I've got to mobilize the shoulders more than I'm doing now. That's about the wrist and the arm. And don't copy me. That's good. Whoosh, really bad. Good. Okay, just stretch them out this way. Release it, stretch them up this way, and then lace them to the back and stretch them back this way. Good. And just shake them out. Good. Roll them. Circle. Roll the whole body. Shake the legs. And that's it. Good. Okay, good. So we'll look at some real basic body work. So just without the hands, just go into a tenkan. So from here, don't do anything with the arms. Just focusing on the body, lower body. You do this really in 2 steps. So the front leg rotates in this way, and then just rotate to the back this way. And just allow the arms to follow the body. Don't focus on the arms at all. Just feet, and then sinking the weight, rolling to the back. So put all of your focus, all of your energy into the feet, to the footwork, sinking back. Nice, clean, heavy tenkan movement. Just sinking the weight in and rolling back. Yeah, go ahead, and you're in time. So don't worry about the hands, just let them follow. Okay, good. Okay, and also in this case, this is also, you can think of this as a rotation, but it's also really an entry as well. So the very first motion is like an entry in with the body. So in terms of Taina Henko, what you're doing is actually entering into this motion this way. And it's not just simply a kind of rotation out to the back. So in this case, it's got also a kind of entry, an element of entry into it. So just bring that hands into it now. You're basically going to press from the back foot. So you press in the back foot and press weight into it this way. What I don't do is just rotate the body this way and break the connection with the back foot. So sink into the back foot and sink the weight in. At the same time, you're going to sink the weight through the underside of the arm this way. And really feel this is heavy underneath here, and then find that second rotation this way and maintaining the extension in the hand. So first, just ground, look for the extension, reaching out, and then pressing from the back foot, sinking the weight in. sink the weight in, and then find the rotation this way. Yeah. You can also do this a few times. So you kind of work your way into it. Find the extension, drop the weight in, find the rotation. Yeah, so you feel free to kind of break it up into its kind of parts. So you've got kind of three parts. The first one is finding the extension. The second one is finding the entry. And the third one is finding the rotation. Okay, good. So really focus on the connection with the, especially between the hips and the hands. So in this case, also what happens if I do the extension, which is just in the arms like this? It's basically like this, and then the movement's all in the hands, like this. This is using extension, but it's using just the arms to do it. What I want to feel is that when you find the extension, it's like a settling of the hips. So it's actually the extension is an extension of the grounding work. So it's not in a sense extension out with the arms, upper body. It's a sense of draining down, sinking into the ground. So there's really a feeling of, and I feel that the hands and the hips are connected this way. And then as you enter in, maintain this connection, hips and hands. So it really feels like the hips are in my hand. And then as you find this position's the same, really clear that the hips and the hands are really connected. So this is about really grounding the extension. So what I want to do is strong extension, but grounded in the hip work. Sink the hips in and find this really grounded. And just feel that the hips really connected to the handwork this way. And then you can do it. So all the koku work relies on this connection between the hips and the hands. So just going to focus on it a little bit more. And it really starts with my connection here. If this is kind of strongly connected to the hips, it's very easy to move with it. Okay, give it a try. Good. Good. Okay, good. With that feeling, do this as one motion now. So we're going to add another movement to it. Again, find the extension. Separate this movement out. Really find the extension. Find the rotation. And then from here, keeping this connection with the hips and the hands, roll the body back this way. Okay, and then just enter into it again. Find the extension. Find the rotation, strong extension, and then connecting the hip work to the hand. Okay, back to this position. Rolling back and then stepping back this way. Yeah, and just really focus on the connection with the hips and the hands. Okay, so I made the Taina Henko in one move. Yeah, and then rolling back this way. Okay, give it a try. Okay. You can also do this kind of a few times, just to really make this connection clear. This position from here, from the Taina Henko position, this grounded position, what you do is release it from the hips and then roll back, and then press it through. So just kind of do the movement and then reverse it. I really get the feeling that it's the work of the hips that draws the hands out this way. So basically the hands only move when the hips move. It's not in a case that I do that and kind of separate it out, or separate it out here. So you get a feeling you ground hips in the hands, and then the hips move the hands. Roll them back. And then from here, the same feeling. Hips move the hands this way. So just kind of do this a few times. You can do both sides. Just get a feeling they connect, hips in the hands, and then move the hips, release the hands. Move the hips, release the hands. In this case, is really like sword work. The grip is connected into the hip work. So when the hips move, the sword moves. Hips move, the sword moves. Hips move, the sword moves. Hips move, sword moves. And in this case, not moving the arms separately. Okay, so just try and really connect the hip work to the hand work. And you can do any motion in this kind of set of movements. It should all have the same feeling, that the hips are the dominant, or the director of the movement. Yes. That's it. Great. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay, good. So we'll just look at a Morotedori, and then we'll link it in with this set. So again, the same feeling. Find your extension, ground the body down. From here, you're going to drop right in with the body this way, so that the shoulder, elbow, hip, and the mind really drop down. So there's really a feeling of dropping down, finding the center line, and then from here, coiling in this way. From here, raising up into an arc, and then coiling it back to the ground. And again, the same feeling, that the hips and the hands are really connected into the ground. And then you just switch to the other side. So first find the extension connection, roll in, dropping the weight, coiling in, raising up in a coil, and pressing down into the ground. Hips connected to hands. Okay, give it a try. It's in your own time. Take it nice and slow. Coiling in and coiling out. And then changing sides. Aha, good. Okay, good. And this is a really clear case where the body's leading the movement. So most of you got this one, this spiral. Now from here, what I don't do is just kind of twist the body over and do, I'll show you from the back so it's easier, I think. I don't just do that kind of motion with the body. So in this case, it's like that. And what I'm doing in this case is like I'm pressing the hips in. So it's this position, rolling the hips in. So what I'm trying to do is actually slide the hips in underneath. So as I raise up, what I'm trying to do is slide the hips to the rear, the person. So this later can be done as a strike with the body. So this, and then this. The body's coming in underneath. At the same time, I'm waving over with a spiral, and then pressing that weight through the ground here. But as the arms find this kind of wave motion, this way over the top, what the hips are doing is really sliding in and entering to the back. So this is kind of a pattern we use sometimes with a lot of the movement. So coil with the hand, spiral, but really enter with the body and press down this way. Okay, so just see if you can get this kind of feeling, pressing weight through the body as you find this coil this way. So it's here, coiling through, and then pressing down this way, nice and heavy in the ground. Okay. Okay, good. And then just again, just try and make this into one motion now. So we're just going to coil in and coil out this way. So now really as one motion, find the extension, coil in the body and then coil in through this way. So this is a kind of double spiral with an entry with the body. So actually quite difficult to do. So you're really going to coil in, coil out this way. So spiraling in, spiraling out this way. Okay, give it a try. Nice movement for the hips. So roll in, roll out. Just keep everything in motion. The center's active all the way through. That's it. Okay, good. Yeah, that's it. Good. Okay, good. So in this case, what happens is that if I do the movement with the hands, so I get this movement. So if I'm doing the movement with the hands, as the person comes in to grab, as I go with the hand, it'll actually pull me out of balance this way, and I end up in this position. And if they give a good, really strong grab, this kind of feeling, as you make the movement with the arm, it'll actually pull you out of balance, and the person can just apply weight through it. So what I want to do in this case is really get the feeling that the hips are moving in to slide in. So there's a feeling that as the arm gets captured, that I'm pressing the weight through it. And what I want in the person to happen is this, that they get trapped in the weight. So as they're applying the grip with the center, trying to press the weight into the ground, what I do is disrupt it by working into the grip this way. So what you're doing in this case is dropping the weight of the body and spiraling the arm at the same time. So you're allowed to enter if I use a spiral to do it. Okay, if I enter by just going with the body and force pushing into it, this won't work either. But in this case, if I just use the arm to spiral without without any weight behind it, this is where the body just gets weak. So really get a sense that as you go in, the weight of the body pressing and then pressing through. So what I'm looking for in the person is as they grip, this gets taken out. And then at the same time as they're taken out, you're going to roll over the top of the body this way. Okay, so you're looking to kind of trap them into a spiral, which is done really with the center work. This way, this way. And the arms express the spiral this way. So think that the core of the work is in the core, obviously. Yeah. That way. That way. Okay, just give it a try. So just look for a little bit more weight as you do it. The core initiating and trapping the person with the core, or the movement of the core. That's it. Yeah, good. That's it. There we go. Yeah, good. Yeah, good, 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 good. Okay, good. Good. We'll do a variation on the Morotedori, so on a Kokyunage. So in this case, you're going to do the same entry, coiling in, rolling up to here. Now you slide out with the left foot, the front foot, and coil out this way with the arm this way. Strong extension out, and then from the backhand, you're going to enter through and find the extension this way. Okay, so the same beginning, coiling in, and then rather than coiling back this way, you coil out this way, sliding through this way. Really strong extension in the front hand, and then the backhand just comes through, slides in this way. You create kind of an iron ring with the hands. So you slide in, coil out, and then press through this way. It goes like this: 1, 2, 3, this way. Okay, give it a try. So this is a Morotedori Kokyunage. Okay. good. And just watch the footwork. In this case, I'm really going to stretch out. So roll in, and then from here, I really move the center this way. So I'm rolling out, and this is to give me space so that I can find the extension this way. So you can't really feel it in terms of the partner work. What I can do in this case is just roll back this way. But if I do it in this case, I just get, my extension gets trapped. So I basically get here, and then as I roll this way, the extension gets jammed into the body, and then I end up pushing out with the arm. But in this case, what I want to do is maintain this extension by rolling the body out. So I just try and show you from this way. I roll in, and then I really shift the body out this way, and then I make room for the extension this way, and then from here really step in this way. So the entry I can make very strong, but this way I've really got to shift away this way and extend out, and then from here really press through with the body this way. Okay, give it a try. So you really shift the weight back this way, coil out, and find the extension here. Okay, give it a try. Yeah, okay, good. Poof. Good. Okay, good. Nice. Hmm. Good. Good. Okay, and then in movement, this form looks totally different. So, and I do totally different footwork. So this, in this case, this is a longer form. In this case, you're going to rotate all the way through the form this way. And in this case, I create a kind of triangle movement with the hands this way. So in this case, roll all the way back here. And then you find the extension out, and then you step through this way. In this case, you do a full tenkan. So roll the way to the back, rolling out, like a triangle in front of the head. And then you open the form out, and then you find the back hand this way. Yes, you do a full motion. This, and this. Roll out, cutting through, and then stepping through with the backhand this way. Okay, give it a try. It's a really nice movement. Okay, good. And there's two kind of coordination things I can do in this case. One, again, is the arms. I can go with the arms and then find the rotation. But if in this case, as I'm raising the arms and then I've not found the rotation, the arm's basically going to get taken. And then as I find the rotation, I'm in a weak position with the arm. The other one is that I rotate first and then I find the arm. Now, in that case, I've rotated without really blending the person out. If the person does grab the arm, they can just trap it down. Again, I can't raise it from this position. Or they just abandon the grip and go for a strike. So in this case, what I want to do is actually invite the grip, but at the same time, really draw them into a movement here. So again, it's the hips draw the arms up this way. So during the rotation, you're going to find the hip work this way. So just feel that when you raise the hands, it's actually being released through the hip work this way, and that the rotation, the handwork all happens together. So you can just work on this motion, this one. So really get the feeling, again, it's really like sword work, that as you raise the hands, it's through the hip work. Not dong dong, and not dong dong with the body. So really try and blend it together, the hips sink, the arms raise. And then the same thing here, hip, hip. So all the movement's being driven by the hip work. Just give it a try. Oh. Got it. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, good. So we'll do one form really nice. Back to basic. In this case, Morotedori. This is like this is an Irimi Nage. So you do the same beginning as before, coiling in, and then from here, stepping out with the left side, and coiling up here with the arm. In this case, rather than slicing this way, you're going to do this motion with the arm this way. So what you're going to do is this, and then this, stretching out the arm this way. Okay, so I'll show the full set so you've got the movement. So it goes here. I coil in, I shift out and find the extension here. And then from here, what I do is a big entry all the way to the back. This way into the back, and then I'm going to find the Irimi Nage here, and then throw down this way. Okay? This is a really big form. In, extension up. And then from here, really stepping from the back of the body this way, extension down, find the coil, and find the throw this way. Okay, give it a try. So this is a Morotedori. Irimi Nage. So here, basic, here, coiling in, finding the back, and then stretching through. Okay, give it a try. Nice, big, clear movements. Nice. Nice. Okay, good. And just watch this movement. Make this a really clear entry. So you roll to the back, here, open out, and then what I do is really pass the body all the way to the back this way to find the back. If I do this in kind of half, I do this in a halfway. What I end up is with the person in front of me as I find the rotation, and then I try and find the Irimi Nage with the person. This is impossible. I can't show. Basically in this position, so I'm basically front, and I can basically, if I can see the person as the attacker, if I can see the person, I can basically strike them this way. I can use the fists and the hands. So what you want to do is roll in, roll out, and get right to the back of the person. The feeling in the case of Irimi Nage, is that this fist is going to the back of the skull. So I want to, if you can imagine, I want to move as far as I can, that I can really step to the back and strike the back of the neck, the back of the skull. So here, which means I've really got to do a big entry this way, right to the back here, and then pressing here. So that's the crucial point of the Irimi, is that you enter right to the back. So I want when I make that entry motion to end up really right to the back of the person, and that's really the heart of the technique, and that's where all the practical applications of it are all about this. How I can really get to the back of the person here, and then the technique's really irrelevant, because the act of getting to the back is what's important in this case. So just really open this movement out a little bit more. Yeah, and really enter right to the back. Yeah, give it a try. Okay, okay. Good. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Okay, good. We'll do Kinanagari form. So in terms of the Morotedori iriminage, there's kind of two forms. There's what's known as high to low and low to high. So that basically means that I'm working with the arm high and then I'm cutting low down to find the movement. In this case, we'll do the low to high, which means the body's turning low, and then I go to a high movement with the body. And then I find this position here. So what you do in this case is the arm's being grabbed. I go into a full rotation. So rotate to the ground this way. Oh, I'll show you this way. Rotate to the ground this way. So I'm in this position, quite a deep movement here. And then from the leg, this, I find this movement, and then I really, again, enter to the back and find the movement here. This way. So work really with a low position. You coil in, and then from the ground, from the legs, through the hips, you explode out to that position. Okay? And then once you've got the coordination of it, see if you can bring it together. This way, and coiling through this way. Okay, give it a try. So this is a low to high variation. This way. That way. Yeah, tricky. Okay, in this case, I've really got to coil them in as well. So I've got to really roll the body down this way. So at the same time as rotating, pressing down, I'm coiling to the outside this way. And what I want them to do is go for the grab and then get drawn out into this movement here. And then as they're drawn out, that's when I find the extension and then enter to the back. So really in this case, try and see if you can get this feeling again of one movement. The arm rolls down. And the arm rolls down here. The feeling in this case is like the arm's bait. So the arm, I really want it to be grabbed, and I want to really bring it with me. And then I find the extension and I use it to the end. Yeah, give it a try. So you kind of bait with the arm. You do it. Okay, good. Yeah.
I have one question. In this case, when we are making Erminagi, at the grab of in the Morotedori, when there is a grab, a heavy grab from one person, and we are here.
Say again, one more time.
You can show me the work of hips when he is strong.
Okay, yeah. Okay, good. From the attacking view. In this case, what I want to do again with the attackers, they come in, they're going to grab in and get it strongly. And also in this case, what you're doing is you're offering the hand to be grabbed, because normally in terms of the Morotedori, I'm going to go first with a Shomanuchi and then take the grab this way, from a kind of basic sense. But in this case, the person's kind of baiting with the hand to be grabbed, and then you're using the hand either to rise or to lower. So what I want to do is really take the hand and grab it and press the weight down. Now in that motion, again, I want to really draw the person out into this arc this way. Okay? And then as the person is drawn out, you want to find the extension which draws them out this way. I basically want to find this position in the back of the spine. Okay, so I roll out this way. Okay. What I'm looking for also in this case is another atemi from the receiving side. Is to roll out and I strike to the ribs and then pass through to the back. So I really want in this case to draw the person out of the spine this way. So what I'm looking for is basically this position with the hips, and then I basically continue that through the motion all the way over. And then the Ariminagi is really a continuation of this motion all the way over through the back. So you're really actually looking at it in terms of Ariminagi to enter to the back and break the spine. In terms of structural work, to actually break the spine in terms of structure. So I want to really break the structure of the spine this way and out. Yeah, hopefully.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Okay, we'll just finish with, you can basically do this as a set. So I'll show you the full set and then you can parts of it or do all of it if you like. So you basically, you start with the Taina Henko, you roll in through this way. Okay, you coil back and then you go into the Morotedori. This way, basic. And then you coil back, change the feet, and you go to this other variation. This way, coiling through, here, and then you're here, you go into the Iriminage. This way, entry, and then finish. Okay, you can just do it in a basic way. Kind of Henko, rolling back. Morotedori Kokyuho, rolling back. Morotedori Kokyunage, yeah, and then Morotedori Iriminage. Further back. Yeah, just try it as a set. Okay, link them together. And then this is a basic way you can do this in movement too later. Good. Okay, good. Okay, in the last 30 seconds, just move freely and just imagine a kind of Morotedori attack coming in. So you've got these kind of basic options where I find the movement this way, but in terms of movement where you've got really coiled movement this way and coiling this way. Basically, the connection between the hands, coiling to that, pressing through. So imagine it's coming in, coiling through, coiling to the back. And you've got all the techniques that you can do from here. All the ikkyos, shihonages, kokyunages. Just really move and focus on the hips, transferring into the handwork. Really working with the connection with the ground and coiling through. Yeah, last 30 seconds. Give it a try. Just in free.
I'm out of battery.
Ah!
To go.
Yeah.
Before I went black.
Good.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
It's not me without
The battery. I know the computer feeling. Okay, good. Very nice. Great. Okay, very good. Very nice. So this is all just working again with spiral work, handwork, and really with a special focus on transferring the weight through the body and then out into these spirals. So, and Morotedori is a really great attack to train this from because I can't use upper body strength to do any of the motions. So I find out very quickly in Morotedori attacks how if I'm throwing the weight of the body out through the arms, then I just get thrown out of balance as I do it. So the key to this is working in spirals and draining the weight down and using the core of the body to express the spiral through the technique. Yeah. Okay, good. And all the koki nages are really perfect for this kind of work. Okay, very good. Listen. Right, domo, arigatou gozaimasu. Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Michael.